Today we have a very important guest with us in the house. She is my daughter, she is a teacher, she is an immigrant, and she would like to share her story with you. And I hope her story is going to inspire anyone out there who intends to be a teacher in Germany. Welcome back to my YouTube channel FORMIGREF, Friends for Migrants and Refugees. On this channel, we talk about issues related to migration, migrant stories, migrant experiences, gender-based violence, and any other issue that can be of help to you. If you are visiting my channel for your very first time, I heartily welcome you and say thank you. And also to my old subscribers, thank you so much. Please do like, share, and subscribe for more informative and educative videos. On today's video, we shall be interviewing an immigrant, a successful immigrant, a teacher who will be sharing her story with you all, especially those who aspire to be teachers in Germany. So if you are interested and willing to know more, stay tuned. I will be right back. The purpose of this interview is to examine a lived experience of a multilingual, a multicultural immigrant teacher in Germany. No other person than Malice. Malice is an immigrant teacher living in Germany for about 2 decades. She is a mom, she is a wife, and she has her story to share with us. Mrs. Ngwanziko, I am pleased to have you on board.
I'm honored to be your guest.
Can you describe yourself to our audience?
Hello, I'm glad to be here. I'm Madi Skwandiku. I am originally from Cameroon. I teach in a secondary school here in Germany, and I teach English and French. And as she said, I'm a mom of 3 girls and a wife as well.
Thank you so much. It's also my pleasure to have you on my channel. And you already know this is a channel that we talk about the stories of immigrants. So you are a secondary school teacher in Germany. You are one of those Cameroonian immigrant women. I'm so proud with all your achievements.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you please tell our audience what actually inspired you to become a teacher?
Of course. Yes, my grandma in Cameroon was a teacher, a primary school teacher. So when I was about 2 years, 3 years old, she used to take me into her classroom and I would sit at the corner and watch her teach. So this actually inspired me a lot because I always looked up at her and wished as a little girl at that time that I would like to be like my grandma. And this is actually what pushed me to become a teacher, because I had this dream, this wish, becoming like my grandma, and so I followed my dreams.
Good to hear that. So your grandma inspired you to become a teacher.
Yes.
Can you also tell us, as a foreigner in Germany, to become a teacher? What does it take for a foreigner to become a teacher, and what are the requirements?
First of all, you have to have the C1 level of the German language. So the German language is very, very important to become a teacher. No matter what subject you want to teach, everything or almost 80% of what you learn at the university or what you study is being taught in German. So you definitely have to have the C1 level. Then, of course, the GCE, what they call in Germany, the Abitur. So you need that as well to get registered in the university.
That is just the advanced level.
Yes, yeah.
And how long does this program take?
So you have the bachelor studies, which is 3 years, and the master studies, which is 2 years or 1 year, depending on what school you want to teach in. You know, there is Germany has different schools. We have the primary school. So if you want to become a teacher for the primary school, you would have to study 4 years. That's 3 years bachelor and 1 year master. Then if you want to teach at the secondary school, like what I do, you have to study 3 years bachelor and 2 years masters. And after that, you have an 18 months, what the Germans call Referendariat, which is a teaching practice or a traineeship after your studies. And that's the end or the second part of your formation then. And when you complete all this, you are a registered government teacher.
Oh.
But then there is another way. Some people don't do this traineeship, the 18 months, because you do this 18 months when you want to work under the state as a government teacher. But if you want to work in the private sector, you can as well do it, or some private schools take you just with the Master of Education, you know, so.
Thank you so much for that wonderful tip. Now let's talk a little more broadly about becoming a teacher in Germany. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to an aspiring immigrant student?
You first of all have to be very good. Take your language studies very important, because the German language is what you would be teaching in. No matter, I teach English and French, but of course you should be able to explain to the students in their language, which is in their native language, which is German, what you're telling them in English or in French. So German language is very important. Then secondly, you have to already decide what school you want to teach in, because this is going to determine the program of education. So if you decide to teach in a primary school, so your studies would just be 4 years if you go through everything in time, if you validate all your courses. But then if you want to teach in a secondary school, you would have to also decide if you're teaching in the gymnasium, which is 11 years.
What is a gymnasium?
A gymnasium is a secondary school in Germany, which lasts for 9 years. The students, we live in Lower Saxony, and the program is 9 years. And some other federal states have an 8-year program. And after this, the students write the Abitur, which warrants their entry into a university. And then there is the Realschule or an Oberschule. These last just for 5 or 6 years, depending on what the students want to be later. And some of them finish and still go into the gymnasium at the 11th grade. But some finish and start a vocation or whatever. They just specialize in whatever they want to be in future. Then we also have the Gesamtschule. The school system in Germany is a bit complicated. But then there is a Gesamtschule, which is what we know in Cameroon, where you have the combination of a combination of gymnasium and a Realschule in one school. You know, so the students who want to do a vocation later, they are in this school, and those who want to do the Abitur, which is the GCE, they are also in this school. So that's actually what we have in Cameroon, the Gesamtschule. Yeah.
So if I might ask, gymnasium is not what we have in Cameroon as high school, where students, they prepare for the lower and the upper stage to write their advanced level.
Okay, the gymnasium, for example, in the Lower Saxony is a 9 years program, because the kids have 4 years in the primary school, and then they come and do 9 years in gymnasium. So the gymnasium is almost like what we have in Cameroon, with the difference that they don't have the GCE at ordinary level and the GCE at the advanced level. They just have the Abitur, which is equivalent to a GCE advanced level. When they finish it and they succeed in it, they could go to the university.
So the GCE ordinary level can be considered as
the 10th grade.
The 10th grade and to the Realschule in Germany.
Yeah, of course.
Genau.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. So I know the system as well. She's really giving vital information to you all there listening to her, watching her talk. I think it's going to inspire a lot of students today. What is it like to be an immigrant teacher in German schools? What are the challenges you faced and what are your strengths?
First of all, my challenges at the beginning was the language. I had to study almost everything in German, and it was not an easy task because I had to do a lot of writing too. Thank God I succeeded, and after that, the second challenge that I had was the fact that I was studying with kids. You know, it wasn't an easy, I was a mom and a wife, and it wasn't an easy thing. So that was also very challenging because I had to be a mom, be a student, and be a wife at the same time. Then when I started working, I had the problem or the challenge that I had to teach kids in a pure white school. Up to now, I still teach in the school. I don't have any black students. I'm the only black colleague amongst my colleagues. So I was, at the beginning, I was a bit insecure. I thought, oh my God, am I gonna make it? But then, you know, I discovered that just being myself and being convinced of what I want to teach gave me the strength to pull it through. You know, then I always had this behind my back, the back of my brain, that I could face problem of racism because of my skin color. But then I decided not to look at the kids like white kids. They're just students, my students, no matter their skin color. And this gave me the strength to just teach. You know, sometimes I have students who would like to maybe test their boundaries, being like disrespectful, but talking with colleagues showed me or proved to me that it's just a normal thing. You know, such students were the same to other colleagues, no matter the skin color. So I quickly wiped this off my mind, and then I realized that I always have to prove myself, you know, like showing that I'm good enough. You know, sometimes you see these question marks on people's faces. Oh, you're a teacher, you know, as a black girl or a black woman. And well, I just, you know, you just have this, you're supposed to have the self-confidence and know, okay, I'm good enough, you know, no matter my skin color. And so this, you know, having all this in mind, I tend to just walk into any classroom and do what I know best, and that's teaching. Yes.
Kudos. Congratulations. To your audience watching you today, what would be your last word to them?
Well, for those aspiring to become a teacher in Germany, don't be scared of your skin color. I am doing it so you can do it as well. Then you should always know it's not an easy program. So distractions should be left aside, because if you want to go through it, you have to give in maximum concentration. You have to be good in the language as well. Then you have to already decide, what do I want to teach? In Germany, you don't teach one subject. You know, if you want to do Master of Education or the educational program, you are supposed to have two. That's something I forgot to mention. You are supposed to have two. I forgot to mention this before. You're supposed to know exactly what subjects you want to study. You can't be a teacher of just one subject in Germany. You know, you're supposed to have at least 2 subjects. Like myself, I have English and French. As a Cameroonian, it was perfect for me because they are both my native languages. And so when you decide this, you have to decide also what school. Is it a primary school? Is it a gymnasium? So the programs is according to, it's always related to what school you would teach. You know, then the next thing is you have to stay focused. You have to stay focused. You have to put all distraction apart because it's not an easy program. You know, because not everyone studies education, and many people will fall apart because of the workload required from you, and so it's a really, really intense program. Then my last word is just to say nothing good comes easy and quitters don't win. I am doing it, so you can do it as well.
Wow, perfect. So thank you so much. It was really my pleasure to have you on board, and not only to me, but to all my viewers, my audience out there listening to you today, watching you. And especially, I know what you have just shared with us is going to inspire so many out there. There are lots of immigrants out there who want to become teachers, but they don't know how to go about it. They don't know how to navigate the system. Just listening to you today talk must have touched them a lot, must have inspired so many of them today. And I want to share with you your last word. As you say, everybody needs to be focused. Everything you do, determination is the key. Once you are determined to do it, you can do it. Just as she said, if she can, you too can. Thank you all for listening and watching. I do hope this video must have helped you a lot. Please do not hesitate to click at the notification button so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. Do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.